GTT.
Not sure if your audio sounds professional? A Soundcheck by George the Tech removes all doubts and explains the next steps. Audiobooks, podcasts, or voiceovers. For content creators, we do it all. New customers get 20% off with coupon code XPTO.
George the Tech.
So I was never someone who was hung up on, oh my gosh, I had this many comments, I had this many followers, that kind of thing. For me, it's just, if you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. But there's no need to write the bad comments on there. So I've learned to just delete and block. Don't give it energy. Don't give it time, because I could get a million fantastic comments, but that one bad comment will ruin my day.
George the Tech.
Hello, everybody. It's George the Tech back with another trusted partner profile. In this case, a client as well. So many of my partners are clients. So I don't know why bothering with all those titles, because these are all very important people to me. And joining me today in the hot seat, no, not so hot, the warm seat, the comfy seat, is Queen Noveen. How you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing really well. How about yourself, George?
Oh, it's been a morning, right? You've had one too. It's amazing. We're all here at the same time, at the same place, and the technology is doing the technology stuff.
What it does every day. Testing us.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Well, I've learned doing all these that more redundancy sometimes takes more time to get going, but it's so nice when that new fancy miracle software craps the bed on you, and then you have to replace that interview later, and that's not fun. So we have redundancy.
Yeah,
redundancy.
It happens.
Just kidding. That was a joke. It's so nice for you to be here with me. You and I have a bit of history working from a technical perspective, and I recall going into your studio in a cute little closet. That's where I think we started together. Did it start before that, or was it the closet was the first time?
It was definitely the closet, because that's when I had just become the voice of the E! Network. And it had been like a couple months, and they're like, okay, we need you to start recording from home now.
Yes.
And I believe it was my agent and my voiceover colleague, Gabe Kunda, who referred me to, and they're like, check out George, talk to George, he'll help you get all the equipment. And that was my first time just like interacting with you. And
Gabe Kunda, man, that guy's doing real well right now.
He's doing real good things. Yeah, awesome things.
Yeah.
And that was my first time working with you and having like a semi-professional voice studio in the space that I had to work with.
Yeah. And that's, that's the fun of doing what we do is figuring out how to make it sound like you're in a world-class studio.
Yep.
No matter where the heck you are, in a closet or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, up until that point, had you been working voiceover as a full-time career, or were you juggling multiple careers? And
it was definitely multiple jobs, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So I was still working part-time at a candy store for a little bit, Dylan's Candy Bar at the Grove, and then I was working part-time at the Dolby Theater doing ushering and tour guide and just little things here and there while starting to begin my voiceover career. So I was still trying to have income in many places that I could as I'm trying to build my career. So it was a lot going on. I was all over the place, but I was trying to make it work.
It is amazing, people that survive and working in LA and Hollywood and start and build a career while they're still juggling real life, which is, a lot of us come here with, not much more than what's in our little paltry bank accounts, and we just try to make it work. I've been here 21 years, and I wasn't juggling quite as many things, but I was doing couriering. I was doing very low budget filmmaking, and I was doing like pro audio sales at this boutique. And so it's, not all that different in a way, just different jobs. But I know that feeling. And before you landed here, did you grow up in the area, or where did you come from before?
I'm originally from Connecticut, born and raised on the East Coast. So over there. Yeah, that's right.
That's me too, near Philly.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah. So Connecticut was where it's at. Not much going on there, really. So I went to college in New York City. I went to Performing Arts College for 2 years. And they had a campus here in LA. So after my 2 years, I transferred to the LA campus, got my bachelor's degree of fine arts, and kind of just stayed here since. But LA is where I kind of grew up and was doing children's theater and the singing, dancing, acting, all that kind of stuff. So I had that acting bug in me. I knew I wanted to do something in the entertainment industry, enjoyed that. But voiceover wasn't even on my mind at the time. I didn't even know what it was. Like, I was just like, I'm going to be an actor. I'm going to do musical theater. I'm going to sing and dance Broadway. That's what I'm going to do.
Did voiceover discover you, or did you discover voiceover?
It kind of discovered me. A lot of people would compliment my voice, saying, as most people hear, you have a great voice. You should get into voiceover, that kind of thing. And it was just always throughout high school, throughout college. And I didn't really think about it much until it was kind of a consistent thing I kept hearing from people. And my college at the time didn't have voiceover classes. They do now, of course. But at the time it didn't. So after I graduated, I was like, all right, let me continue taking acting classes. And at a studio I was taking acting classes with there, Jeff Howell actually was teaching voiceover classes there. So I was like, all right, let me get into this. Let me take classes with him, see what this is all about. And it just took off from there. So voiceover found me, grabbed me, and is taking over my life.
But you were pretty young when you discovered voiceover. You were still studying.
Yeah, I was, I had just graduated college, so it was like a year after that I was like, let me try this voiceover thing. And I studied with Jeff Howell for about a year. And I still take classes, of course, to this day, but I took a deep dive into voiceover straight for a year, week after week after week, and really learned the ins and outs and just how the business works as much as I could. So, yeah.
That is like immediately outside the door right now.
Oh my gosh.
But much I can do about that right now.
Yeah, it's all
I was like, is this going to time out right where she's in the... No, it's not going to work out for me. We'll hold for a second. I think she's like immediately outside my paper thin office door. Oh my god! All these years, I've been like, someday I'm going to make that door more soundproof, and it's never happened.
The one time you need it, you're like,
it's sort of like there's the old trope that the shoemakers kids have no shoes.
Yep.
It's like I design studios for everybody, and even more shameful, I have an ISO booth sitting behind me, but I didn't. I always do my interviews sitting out here outside the booth. Let's lean into this whole noise distraction problem.
Yeah, right.
When you were recording from your home-based apartment closet space, how much did noise factor in? Like interrupting sessions, interrupting your flow? How did you deal with it in the moment?
Well, I knew at least every Tuesday that there was going to be a moment if I had it to record that I would need to do it beforehand or afterhand, because that is the day that the garbage truck came. And my apartment was right next to the trash bins, and the garbage truck would just pull on up right next to my window, do its thing, and as loud as it can be, it was just a wall between the two of us. And I was like,
there's zero like getting away with it. It's not like you can just hide that. No, it's just like, oh, it's on. I'm completely offline for now.
Yep, whatever sessions I had, whatever I was recording, I was like, we're going to have to wait. The trash bin is right outside my wall. So had to wait for that literally once a week. And then there was a point in time where I lived, the Van Nuys Airport, I guess, was a little bit near me or in the vicinity. So helicopters. I must have been living right in the path of it because I would always hear them come. I could tell what time they were coming. It was just like every week. They're always right on time. And then at one point, my apartment decided to do the worst thing possible that a voice actor could have to go through. Roof renovation. Literally. For like 2 weeks. And this is when I had to record E! True Hollywood Story, a whole season of it. And I had to do episode after episode. And I'm like, they're deciding to do the roof now? And when I tell you, there's no moment in time where I was like, oh, let's wait a second. Okay, now we can't. No, it was just constant throughout. So I had to take up my entire booth, all my equipment and everything, and take it to, at the time, my boyfriend's house, who's now my husband, take it to his apartment in Studio City, where he had much more of a quiet space, lock myself in the room, build a makeshift like mini studio. I had like the comforter over me and everything. And I was under there for hours with the folks at E! Trying to record for E! True Hollywood Story.
So
And
that's how he became your husband.
I know, right? Literally, I was like, well, since you helped me out, I guess we can keep going with this.
I hope it didn't sound too weird, but no, I just thought it was so fun. But I mean, that's just, I mean, he came in the clutch. He was able to help with you. And that's just so much of this. Like, because otherwise, you'd actually literally be likely, in the way a lot of these jobs is, you probably would have had to pay for studio time out of your pocket, right? Because the expectation was that you have a studio. That's part of the job as the voice actor, is to provide that, right?
Yeah, it definitely is. I would have had to go find a studio to rent for weeks because we recorded, I don't know, 12 episodes or something like that. And it took a long time. And as long as we were recording that, that's as long as they were doing the roof. It was just such bad timing. But he came in, he swooped in, he helped, and he does music for a living, so he understands the sound quality and all of that kind of stuff. So did the best we could. So that entire season of Eat You Hollywood Story is recorded in his bedroom under a comforter.
Was the comforter literally on your head?
It literally was. So the times that we would take a moment and she would give me notes, I would take it off to breathe and then put it right back on because I'm like, I need it to be as quiet as possible because it's in a room like this. So he doesn't have like panels on his wall or anything like that. But it was still a quiet space, but I couldn't have the sound bouncing off the walls.
Yeah.
So it was like, all right, are we ready to record? Okay, cool.
OMG.
Brad Pitt. And
I can't believe that you pulled that off. And I can't believe
it sounds so good. It still sounds so good.
And I'm a little embarrassed that you didn't have something better than a blanket over your head.
It was so early in my career at the time that I was just like, I'm going to have to just figure this out and wing this. I didn't know about like the little mini booths. Yeah, that you could take with you and all.
Over your head and all that.
Did not know about any of that. It was like when you came into my voiceover career, I was still early in my voiceover career. E came in 3 years into my voiceover career when I just started. So I was still in the learning process of everything, but I'm getting these gigs and I'm trying to work with it. But oh yeah, that was a time. Oh my gosh. I've never
I hear all
that.
the time about people recording under a blanket in a hotel or something and having to just pull off a quickie thing or a pickup, but an entire series.
Oh, an entire series. And I had 2 kittens at the time, and they were afraid of the noise. So I had to pick up and bring everything to his place day after day after day after day after day. And he lived 10 minutes away, which was nice, but oh my goodness. I was like, now is the time you decide to do that. No warning.
It's brutal. Just brutal. Yeah.
It was the worst. It was.
I mean, I live in a decent apartment in the Venice area. It's nice. They keep it up. It looks nice. But that also means there is constantly upkeep. Like there's constantly tree trimming or leaf blowing or grass trimming or hedge trimming or edging, or it is
everything.
Insane. And then we have Santa Monica Airport where the planes take off and then they make a left turn to head down the coast and they fly right over this apartment building. It's nuts. It is not. If I was a voice actor, I don't think I would live here. There's just no way. Even with the booth, if I go in that booth and a plane flies over, I can still I can still hear the plane inside the booth in that studio. It's a $10,000. I didn't pay for that originally, but I got it used. But that's a $10,000 studio ISO booth, and I can still hear droning plane noise or droning leaf blower noise inside the booth. So,
oh my gosh,
yes, it's not all perfect. Well, flash forward. You're now married. You're now living in the same home, I presume. What's your recording studio setup like now? How do you have yourself set up there?
Well, that you actually helped me with a little bit. I know we did it over Zoom. You didn't actually like come to the house, but it was pretty much just taking what I had and using that around the room. Yeah. So we have a 3-bedroom, and one of the extra bedrooms we turned into just a full-on studio because he does music for a living. Yeah. So he has his keyboard and his drum set and all his guitars on the wall and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then in the closet space, because it's an extra bedroom, that closet, that's just me.
Oh,
just
cool.
in there. He has the rest of the space. It's just me because that's really all I need.
Yeah.
So because it's a closet space, technically, we took off one of the doors and we got the soundproof blanket that he
Yeah.
helped me put up, and that's just covering the closet
opening.
itself. Yep.
Yeah.
We have the padding, the
The panels.
all on the panels that we actually took from my old place couldn't fit in the closet itself. So we just placed that on the walls around the room.
Oh, nice.
Just
You got
kind
to
of
repurpose
helpful.
them.
Yeah, exactly. So we repurposed it, which is really nice.
Yeah.
We have I don't know why I can't think of the name, but the
Orlux?
squishy soundproof.
Acoustic foam, soundproof.
Yeah, the acoustic foam.
Orlux, yeah.
Yeah, all in the closet like that. I have my laptop, my interface, the arm, the mic, the
Just what you need.
headphones. It's pretty simple, just like that. It's just me in a closet, soundproof. So it works really well, actually. And some of the extra foam that we had, we put on the back of the door when you close it as well. So sometimes my husband will be in another room or he'll be in the hallway and he'll be calling me, and I'm like, I cannot hear him at all. And then he'll walk in the room and he's like, I'm calling you. I'm like, oh, I can't hear you.
Text
so I'm
me,
like,
honey.
well, it works. That's
works.
good.
That's fantastic. That's really
Yeah.
great. But how much of your records do you do? This is probably hard to quantify, but how much of your recording is done solo or self-direct, and how much of it's directed by the director or the production?
I would say it depends on the project.
Yeah.
When it comes to animation and video games, sometimes it is directed by someone,
That's pretty
either
much
over
always
Zoom
true.
or Source Connect. Yeah.
Stuff for E,
Stuff for E, that's all self-direct.
it's all self-direct.
Yeah, because I did it for like 3.5, 4 years. And after a period of time, they're like, just knock it out and send it to us.
Yep.
So the majority of that was self-direct. If it's commercials or promos, pickup, stuff like that, self-direct.
What do you
and then
prefer?
It depends on the project. If it's something that I can just knock out pretty easily, if it's like a promo or something like that and I got it, I'll just do it. But when it comes to characters, I'd rather have someone direct me so I know I'm still in that space I'm supposed to be in, and giving the characters that authentic emotion and what's happening in the scene if I have questions. But everything else I can kind of knock out if it's straightforward. Just let me know more energy, less energy, emphasize this, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I've been watching your social media game ramp up. What was there something that made you? Was there something you dropped that went viral? Was there something that you did that got attention that made you go, "Wow, I need to lasso this lightning and hang on"? Was there something that happened?
Yeah. So it was definitely a video that I had posted, and a lot of the help was from my husband, who, like I said, is in music, but has that manager mindset to him.
Yeah.
So he knows how to do this, do that. What are people going to like? What's going to capture their attention?
Yeah.
So we work hand in hand on all of my social media. And he was the one that was like, you're the voice of E. You're killing it. You're doing all of these gigs. You need to be putting yourself out there on social media, not only for people to see, but also you're a woman of color who are in these spaces of voiceover that you don't normally see. So
you're becoming a role model very quickly, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So he's the one who really encouraged me to start putting myself out there. And at first it was a bit of a trial and error of like, okay, well, what do I post? What is my niche? What am I putting out there? Because at the time I'd only done a couple. It was just after I was done with E Network, and I had only done a couple live award shows, and I never really recorded myself doing them.
You weren't really a habitual poster.
No,
you weren't one of those always selfieing, always posting.
Oh
persons.
no, and I was private on Instagram. He's like, you need to unprivate. You need to put yourself out there. And I didn't have many followers. It was just something me, my friends, and family, and that was about it. And so I'm more of an introverted person, so it took me some time to really open up and try it.
Which
so eventually
probably is very hard for people to believe that watch and follow you, like that you're an introvert, right? That in your natural state would be very happy in a quiet space of your own.
Yeah. So I'm extroverted when it's like, I'm doing my job and with people that I know and all that kind of stuff.
You can turn it on and turn it off, but you would prefer to,
I love being home and just doing nothing, just hanging out.
Yeah.
We went through trials of like finding different videos to put out, editing it certain ways. And then there was this one that I did for the SAG Awards where I was introducing the cast of Hamilton. And ended up putting that on TikTok first. I didn't have a TikTok at all. And he was like, you also need to get a TikTok. Got a TikTok, put that video out, and it blew up on TikTok. It blew up. And
That's
I was
what
like,
I keep hearing about people that work TikTok, is that nothing can go as quickly viral like it can on TikTok. Like it has that ability.
Yeah.
That's unique among all the platforms.
Yeah, it just soared. And so we're like, all right, let's bring that same, energy over to Instagram. And Instagram kind of took a while because I would put that video on Instagram. At first, I just put it on Instagram story because I'm like, it's fine. Didn't really think anything of it.
Yeah.
And then we started posting it as a reel. And it took some time for that to start picking up too. But we found our rhythm. We found what my niche was and what really captured people's attention. Seeing me do it while also mirroring it with the actual recording itself. So we started doing that, putting that out. That started picking up momentum on both Instagram, TikTok. Sometimes Instagram would overpower TikTok, and then TikTok would overpower Instagram. So it was kind of just like this going there trying to one-up each other, which the algorithm was working. I didn't know what was happening. I'm like, oh, this is a lot for me to handle. It was like comments and messages and how do I get into this? And how
that's
did you
the
do
thing.
this?
Like, if you don't have a system in place to manage the incoming commentary, like I get addicted to the social media thing. So like I look at all the platforms because I want to make sure I engage them with any comment or whatever. But if something were to like trigger sort of an avalanche activity, I don't know what I would do. Like I don't know how I would handle that.
I thought I could handle it. I tried that first video that went viral on TikTok, the Hamilton one for SAG Awards. I tried answering every single comment back, and TikTok stopped me at a point because they're like, you are answering too much in this amount of time.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it stopped me. It's like, you have reached your max limit of responding to comments for the day.
What?
And I couldn't respond to any more, and I had to wait like 24 hours to start responding again.
I had no idea that was a thing. What the
I didn't even know either. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, understood. But like, once we started doing more and more videos and showing everything that I could do and everything that's happening behind the scenes, people just ate it up. And it was insane because now my notifications were just normal. If I get something from someone, it would tell me. It started popping up so much that my phone was like ding, 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 ding. It was just constant. And I was like, I think this is the moment where I'm going to have to turn this off forever.
Yeah.
And so I only have it on for people I follow. So it's a little bit slower, but the notifications still happen. And it's something that I never expected to happen. Is not something you really think of until it happens in the moment, and then you have to deal with it. So I'm grateful that people have found it and they're interested in it. And it's, I'm opening people's eyes up to something they never really thought of. Everyone thought I was a Siri and all that kind of stuff.
It's a distraction from your main mission, right?
Getting all like the notifications and comments and stuff.
Or just learning how to deal with that, handle it, and how do you... Did you have to take your eye off the ball of your career? Or do you look at it as, well, this is clearly going to be a big boost for my career. I got to give this a lot of attention.
I saw it as a boost for my career, but it was also, it's not something that I got really hung up on because I know how people can be in comments, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. And I don't really take too good to bad comments, of course. And so that's where the introvert side of me comes in. So I like to
no matter how good you are at something, how pretty you are, how talented you are, how anything, there's always going to be haters that slip in there.
Yep, it definitely will. So that's where I learned that there can also be a negative side to comments. So I was never someone who was hung up on, oh my gosh, I had this many comments, I had this many followers, that kind of thing. For me, it's just, if you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. But there's no need to write the bad comments on there. So I've learned to just delete and block. Don't give it energy. Don't give it time, because I could get a million fantastic comments, but that one bad comment will ruin my day. And so I've learned to just delete and block. Don't give it energy. Move on. And that's really helped me to move on. But I've never been the type of person that's like, I need more followers. Please like, share, and comments. Please follow me. Like, I don't want to beg for it. I just want it to come organically and naturally. If you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. It is what it is. Like,
I love
everyone's
that.
not going to like everything. So just happy for the people that are here.
I actually refer to your feed occasionally, believe it or not.
No.
in regards to mic technique.
Oh.
Talking about the way you use the 416 shotgun mic.
Yeah.
Because so often I see people on their mic, the tip of the mic is way out here or way up here, whatever it is.
Yes.
And I tell people, like, look, you're never as close to the mic as you actually think you are, because with a 416, the capsule that hears your voice is not right here at the tip here.
Yep.
It's back here down the tube of the mic. And it's a different kind of an animal.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think helped you lock in on that placement? Because you have that very close. I think, do you actually touch the nose? Do you touch the foam on your nose?
I used to do that.
You
I used to do that because I was like, I didn't really know mic placement. Again, I was just thrown into live announce. I didn't have any classes that I took before that. Like, none of that.
And there's not a director or producer, engineer, anybody on site who's like, get a little closer. Da-da-da-da. Do they give you notes? They're like, this is your job. Go do your job.
They just assumed that I knew it. Yep. The first live announce show I ever did, the MTV Video Music Awards, the VMAs in 2017, they just thought that I knew how to do everything. So I just did what I already knew. I'm at the mic. I listen for my cue. I read my lines. I practice ahead of time. That kind of thing. So
that had a full rehearsal. So you had
we had a full rehearsal of that.
To the way that
but there was never any notes like too close, too far, like move it this way, that way.
Yeah.
I would get there and they would already have the mic in place, and I would usually kind of just leave it where it is. Of course, now 8 years later, I'm learning how to move the mic where it's kind of supposed to be and where it's comfortable, and that I don't need to be right up on it.
Right.
So it's a lot of learning I've done throughout my career versus having that knowledge beforehand, then going into the space or the booth or wherever I am to do it correctly the first time. So
you're the queen of trial by fire.
Pretty much. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Speaking of Queen, when did you brand yourself as Queen Noveen?
Yeah.
What was the trigger of that?
So that's kind of been a nickname a little bit that I had growing up. I just never really used, if any of us.
Because of how you carried yourself? Was it just that
a little bit like that?
Bit of
confidence, a little bit of that, but also because my name is Noveen, Queen Noveen kind of just flowed. And
it's better than Georgie Porgy, I'll tell you that right now.
I love that. Oh, I used it as my AOL screen name. If anyone remembers AIM, Instant Messenger, I used it as my screen name. It was XO, Queen Noveen XO. But it wasn't until I got married that I was like, I don't want my new last name out there. I don't want my private life out there. That's where the introvert side of me comes in, because I don't post a lot of personal stuff, my family life, that kind of stuff.
It's not just introvert, it's just prudent. It's privacy, it's safety, it's
exactly.
weirdos, it's stalkers, it's all the weird, it's all the dumb stuff that mostly women have to deal with. But
yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go full force with Queen Noveen. Crumby's going to be now retired and out the window. And that's what people are going to know me as, Queen Noveen.
I wish I could say it's the same reason I dropped my last name for my brand, but it's not. It's just because nobody would ever say it right, and it drove me crazy, and I got tired of spelling it. So I was like, just George the Tech.
George the Tech. I love George the Tech.
That's great. It's worked out for you. Well, and then social media. So do you have some jobs in mind where like that job came because of the result of this social media effort? Like, it's triggering actual bookings?
Absolutely. I started doing more social media for Queen Noveen in 2022, I believe. It was right after E and I had separated, so I was able to kind of put myself more on social media and do more live announcing gigs. And so we're in 2025 now. So yeah, in 2022, that's when the video started popping off. In 2023, that's when the offers for different gigs started coming in, mostly live announce. In 2024, that's when I started getting those repeat gigs coming back. And same thing with 2025. So I haven't auditioned for a live announce gig in a long time.
That's amazing.
Long time. So I've been very grateful for all the opportunities that have been coming in. So gigs I didn't even know were possible that I could do. So being able to partner with the NFL and be the PA announcer for the San Francisco 49ers for 2 years in a row has been amazing. I was part of their first all-female PA announcing team with Jamie Coffey, who did the play-by-play announcing, and I was the entertainment announcer, and that was incredible. And then after that, I got to do NASCAR, which is funny enough because
I was
NASCAR...
going to bring that up, man.
Yes!
Like, talk about genre bending, whatever you want to call it these days.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, tell me about that, how that came. I mean, you must have been like, wait, what?
I grew up watching NASCAR with my family, so we loved NASCAR growing up. My dad used to work at the Home Depot, and so we loved Tony Stewart, and then that's how we kind of got into watching NASCAR. So NASCAR found me from what I did with the San Francisco 49ers. They saw what I did on social media for the 49ers. The 49ers came from what I did for the NFL Honors earlier that year. And then NFL Honors, they're the ones who found me on social media. So
isn't that fun following the breadcrumbs backwards?
That's right.
Or this came from this came from this, this came from this.
And then the more I started putting out, the more other award shows started wanting me and for all that kind of stuff. But NASCAR and the 49ers is not something I would have never thought of. They found me on social media and they were like, hey, we want you to be our guest entertainment announcer and do all the pre-opening ceremonies.
Does that mean they're putting you on camera too?
Some parts they did. The second year they did. Yeah. The second year they did. So I was on camera doing that. And it was incredible because, like I said, my family and I love NASCAR. And just last year, I got to bring my dad and my brother to experience it with me. And we got to wave the green flag for the ceremonies. And they got to drive in the car. They get you race around the track. They give you all these goodies and these fun stuff. So they made it such an awesome time. And I'm so grateful. And actually, I just thought about it the other day. All of the folks that have found me from social media for these gigs, for the 49ers, from NASCAR, for the NFL Honors, have all been women.
Wow.
Have all been women that was like, you know what? We need another woman in the space. We're going to jake that gender cycle. And a female of color. It's
that's great. And
I'm like, wow.
Great and disappointing at the same time in a way.
Yeah.
But it's still great. Because I know that there's women in the industry. We interviewed Christy Harst recently from Building Doors, and we know how there's such it takes an unbelievable amount of strength and community building to do these things because there's a sheer amount of momentum in this space that men just dominate, and it's even some very much sexism that they just will not. Yeah, it's just gatekeeping. Like they just like, no, this is what these women don't do that stuff. Well, I don't want to watch a woman talk about that thing. Yeah, and those are some of the comments that I still get on some of the posts that I do with NASCAR and 49ers and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, times are changing. We're here regardless. I mean, we're the ones who gave you birth, gave you life. So we're going to be here, whether or not you like it. So I'm just glad. What's that feel like to you to get to be on, to do NASCAR? Like listen, first of all, we know that NASCAR was not traditionally a very popular sport among African Americans to begin with, right? And that's changing, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
that's changing. There's some stars. Is there at least a couple star drivers now?
Yeah, it's changing, and they're trying to move forward with being more inclusive with Black drivers, but also their audience as well, and bringing in more females as well. You know, just not just male directive.
They
so
finally
they're really
got
trying to
smart.
implement that. Yeah,
they're like, oh, wait a minute. Let's not alienate half of the population.
Exactly.
Let's include more diversity. We need to stay relevant in 2024, 2025.
Yeah, and on. The president of Phoenix Raceway, her name is Latasha Kazi, and she's a Black female. Wow. And she's the one who found me from social media and was like, hey, we saw what you with the Niners. We'd love you to come and join us. So just having someone like her in that position is already showing that things are changing and we're being more inclusive, we're being more accepted. We're trying to bring other people into this. You know, they're trying to make the sport for everyone.
Yeah.
Really is what everyone I feel like is trying to do with things nowadays. You know, just be more inclusive.
It's really great. I know there was one thing where you appeared on the news in Australia.
Yes.
What triggered that? Was that from a particular post that they brought you in on?
I'm not sure what I had posted at the time, but I know they have seen my videos, and my manager got an email that morning who was like, we'd love to interview Queen Noveen for Good Morning America for Australia. We actually shot it in downtown, in LA, in like Century City area.
And one of the studios there.
Yeah, and one of the tall buildings down there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I wish I could go to Australia instead and do it there. But so that was so cool because one, I've always wanted to go to Australia, but they were so fun. And the funny thing is, I feel like I've mentioned this before, maybe here and there in other interviews. I get really nervous for interviews. I don't like doing interviews. They scare me. Again, maybe that's where the introvertness comes in.
And that was live, right?
That was, yes, I believe that was live. Yeah.
That was a live.
Yeah, that was live. Yeah. And I just get so nervous for it. I never know what to say. And I know they're just asking about your career and what you do, but it's always been nerve-wracking to me. So I can stand in front of a crowd and be on camera and do voiceover completely fine.
Right.
But the moment I have to do an interview, I'm like, I don't know what to say. And so it scares me a little bit. So for that, my manager helped prep me the night before. We came up with mock questions. And it's just like, they're just asking you about you, what you've done, how do you feel about different things and stuff like that. So
I was curious about
that really helped.
Yeah, what kind of preparation is involved to be on an interview on a television show like that? Was there a fair amount of preparation from them and from you on both sides?
Yeah, so generally you can ask them for some questions ahead of time, like what kind of questions they're going to be asking, or there's a certain question that they want to know.
Like you asked me, hey, is there anything you want to talk about?
Literally, that's how I asked you. I was like,
I
didn't
say anything.
I know. I was like, he didn't answer. But yeah, so that's helped me to kind of get a head start and get an idea of what they're going to be talking about. It's been a long time coming, and I've done a lot of interviews since then. So it's definitely helped me to be able to speak for myself and find my rhythm and figure out things to say. But at first, I didn't like it.
I know when I edit my interviews, my goal is always to make the person I'm interviewing look good, look smart, look prepared, and so I'm so careful to make sure to include things that are going to do that and remove things that don't, and I do spend quite a bit of time. As a result, I have quite a few interviews in the can I haven't edited yet from the last 2 or 3 months.
Man.
Because I am a little bit of a control freak over the edit. It just is important to me as the interview itself, honestly, because it is really something that's going to make, or I was going to say make or break a career. No, not at all. But make or break that conversation. You never know what is going to get seen or viewed by other people. And
exactly.
It's really important.
Or how they're going to edit it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really important to me. I could everyone's like, you could outsource that. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm not monetizing. I'm not I'm not a social media influencer. I'm not a YouTuber. I put content out there, but I don't have a schedule to keep. I don't have to make sure the machine runs. I interviewed Stefan Johnson. I mean, he has a machine that runs, right? He has to have a constant flow. He has to have a bunch in the can in advance. He really does now have a machine running. It's really impressive, right?
Yeah, he's killing it.
That's just a different animal, and that's just not.
I'm
not interested in.
It really is
doing that.
Nah, not me either.
So now, flash forward. Now you are running a little school or academy or however do you call it? A school of voice acting?
I call it a school. I kind of want to call it a studio, but everyone knows it as a school now. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit, what was the impetus to start that? Did you feel compelled, I got to start one? Or was it just so many questions coming in? How do I? And you're like, I guess I need to do something.
It started from all of the videos that were going viral on social media. And the common question that I asked is, how do I get into this? How did you start? What do I do? I want to get these types of gigs. And it was a lot of me just commenting back, start by finding a intro to voiceover class. Here are some studios that I've taken classes with, outsourcing them, sending them elsewhere. And that's when my manager was like, they love you. They want to learn from you. You should start thinking about maybe creating your own school. And believe it or not, I was against it for a while because I was like, I don't know what I'm going to teach these people. I don't know what to say to them. I'm still learning myself.
Yeah, who am I?
I don't know what to do. Yeah.
Something I'm still learning.
Exactly. I was like, I don't feel qualified to do this. And it took like 6 months or so to get myself convinced. My PR at the time, one thing that he had said that has always stuck with me, he said, it's not what you don't know, it's what you do know. And he's like, you know a lot more than them right now. And that's something that you could teach. And that's really what made me decide, okay, you know what? You're right. I do know a lot of things if I think about it. And they are starting from ground one. They don't know anything. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to look into this. So I started to figure out and create my own curriculum. What are the key things that they need to know? What is voiceover? What are the types of voiceovers? What are scripts? What are different like tones that you can read? What kinds of characters? The basic stuff about voiceover and just getting into it. And created a little curriculum, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to just start this school now. I don't have a name. I don't have a website. I don't know how to do any of this. I was like, let me just test out this curriculum on some of my friends who have been interested in voiceover. So I had about 10 or 12 friends that I just got on Zoom at one point, and I was like, I need you guys to be my guinea pigs. Let me just teach you voiceover. You're interested in it anyway, so let's see
Great
how
idea.
I do and how I feel about it. Yeah. So it was just me sitting there reading off stuff to them, trying to teach them. And for me, I'm a visual learner, and I learned that after doing that little mock session with them. And so I was like, I feel like what could help them is kind of doing like a PowerPoint kind of thing with like colors and different words and mini videos and clips so they can hear it and they can see it, that kind of thing. So after I had done that, that's when my team helped us think of a name for it and all that kind of stuff. And the name actually came from my duets that I've been doing.
Yeah.
So before the school came along, I was
duets.
like,
Those were great. I remember those now. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So people have been wanting to do like, I want to try to do, the live announcing thing. And so my manager and I were like, let's try to come up with like some kind of duet, something to kind of help people. Just kind of like,
because any of you guys who don't engage on social media, and I'm sure there's a number of you, real quick, in a nutshell, a duet is you create a concept, you introduce it, and we're going to do something together, and then you let somebody else shoot their own content, right? And then they get sewn together.
Exactly. It's like you put up words and it's like, you're going to read this character, ready, go. And then you videotape yourself reading the character with the lines kind of just going like that. So I was like, all right, we're trying to come up with this duet. We're just spitballing here. And I still have the recording on my phone of when we're just trying to come up with like, think you got what it takes to be a live announcer? Do you want to be a live announcer? It's your chance to be a live announcer. It was like spitballing all these kinds of things.
Yeah.
And at the end, it was, think you got what it takes to be a live announcer? Well, grab your mic and let's duet. Duet as a play on like, let's do it. Let's duet.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. This is for, and then I would say whatever show it's for. Ready? Cue announce. And the crazy thing is, I see people doing these duets now and they're mouthing along with me. They're like, and then they start doing the lines and I'm like, oh my gosh, my videos have reached that point where people are like, they know what that is now with me.
How
so
fun.
That's crazy. So when we were trying to come up with a name for the school.
That's literally what you hear in the headphones in the booth, like at the show, right?
Exactly. And that's where the name kind of came from. So when I was trying to come up with the duets, I wanted it to be similar to what the directors tell me when it's my cue to read my lines. Sometimes they'll be like, cue announce, or go queen, or ready announce, or ready VO, go VO. Different kinds of names.
Hopefully they're consistent with what they say.
Yeah, it's the same thing throughout the show.
Throughout
they
the
always
whole
ask
show.
me beforehand. Yeah, they're like, what do you want me to call you? Do you want
to be because when they say it, it has to be for
the
real.
Same throughout. Yes,
it can't be a mistake.
No, so I'm like, what do you want to call me? What are we going with here? Okay, so
Right.
I'll keep that in mind for the whole show.
Right.
So I'm like,
So
ready?
that's where the name came from.
Cue announce. Yeah, and some people actually told me like when they do the duets and they're watching it for the first time, they're like, I get nervous because I'm like, oh my God, it's my turn. Oh, like they get nervous hearing ready, cue announce because they feel like they're on the spot now. I'm like, welcome to my world, except it's actually live.
Yeah, it puts them in their own little
Put in the hot
seat.
seat, exactly.
And
yeah,
they're not even having to do it live. They can reshoot it again and again as many times as they want, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So we're like, you know what? Maybe we can call the school ready, cue, announce. It's like ready, set, go.
Yeah.
And that's where the name came from. And
that's great.
Yeah.
It's such a brilliant idea, really.
It's wild.
Who's enrolling? Who is it? Is it almost entirely people that have a dream of voice acting or fans of your, like, what's the cross section of the kind of people who are signing up and taking the classes?
Yeah. So, of course, my partner and I created this educational platform for aspiring voiceover artists, people who are looking to get into voiceover or people who are already in voiceover looking to expand their knowledge or learn something new, that kind of thing. But my school is obviously open to anyone and everyone. But the majority of the folks that we get in are people of color, which is amazing because you don't see that in a lot of these classes. A lot of the classes that I've taken at different studios, I was the one minority or me and someone else. And the majority of my classes are people of color, people who speak a different language who are not even from the US. People on my classes are zooming in from like Mexico or Germany or like all these other countries. And it's like, I didn't expect my school to be international too, which is kind of cool.
Because they found someone, they're like, I identify, or she looks like me, or she's somebody I think is awesome, or whatever the fill in the blank.
Yeah.
But they hadn't found it until they found you.
Exactly. And I feel like they do see themselves in me, which is something that I didn't really see growing up. Or really in voiceover as much, because again, I was still new and I was still learning who people were, how everything worked. But there wasn't one female who looked like me that I pointed out that I was like, I want to be like that person. So I felt like I kind of became that person, and I love that I can be that for other people and they see themselves in me. So a lot of my classes are females too, females of color, which is so refreshing to see, and it makes me so happy because a lot of these people have talent. Some of them picked this up really naturally, and we would have never known that if maybe they didn't see me or discover me and decide to actually try it. So it makes me really happy to see this, or it's just, I feel like my class are just a mixture of all different kinds of people that you wouldn't have expected. And it just makes me really happy to see that I have created that space for them to feel comfortable, for them to feel like that they can do that they're supported, they're encouraged. And that's what I really want. I want there to be more diversity, more inclusion in this industry, and just trying to help these students learn this craft and put themselves out there. And if I can do it, you can do it too. So.
Yeah. How do you judge the success of the program?
I judge it by, hold on, give me a minute to think about this. Sometimes I'll get feedback from some students that have taken classes elsewhere, because at the end of my intro to voiceover class, I do send them a follow-up email. And that's something that I can say I haven't received in any other classes that I've taken, and something that I wish I got when I had first started voiceover. It's like, okay, I took intro to voiceover, I took my notes, now what? I send them a follow-up email. These are the classes that I'm going to have coming up. These are other studios that I've learned at. So don't just learn from Lee. Learn from other people as well. Learn from other teachers, other professionals. Here are some links that I recommend for trying to learn how to do scripts or listening to other people's voiceover demos, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of students will come back to me and be like, hey, I took this class at so-and-so at the studio. It was great. I learned this and I learned that. And a lot of students are returning to my school, and some of them have taken all of my classes, every single one that I've done.
Wow.
So that makes me really happy. And the classes that I teach, I would say, are kind of like starter beginner classes a little bit. But just seeing that they're returning, that they're implementing that, they're doing some of my duets, they're putting themselves out there, they're learning. I feel like that shows that I'm encouraging people. They're seeing that this is something that they can do, and they are continuing to take those next steps.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be tough because, it's when you're starting with people very new and it's a new school, it's you're not going to get all of a sudden all these success stories. It's just not how it works.
It takes time.
People don't come out of the gate. I mean, sure, I'm sure you've had a few people share a win here and there, but you're not going to get like this avalanche of success stories because we know it's a long journey. It's a long journey.
Yeah.
And so that it can be tough, I think, if you're teaching people. It's like, how do I know? Are they really progressing? Is there anything coming out of this? And so that's fantastic. Tell everybody where, if this is something that resonates with you, tell them how they could get involved, how they could study with your program.
So you can head to readyqannounce.com. There, I'll always have the classes of how you can enroll to my school. We like to do an enrollment form just to see where people are at in their careers, whether you're brand new or whether you have some background in maybe broadcasting, radio, a little bit of voiceover, theater here and there, and then a list of the classes that I'll be teaching. So head to readyqannounce.com to submit an enrollment form. I teach intro to voiceover, promo for TV, script reading, because knowing how to read the script is important, and the business of voiceover. And sometimes I do have special guest speakers like George the Tech to teach you about home studio basics, my voiceover agent who teaches you about promos and commercial, and a friend of mine who is very well proficient in animation. So we have guest speakers here and there, or you can follow us at ready.q.announce on Instagram.
Yeah, love it. Love it. Yeah, Ready Q Announce. That's a great name, a great program, a great place to get started and feel, not overwhelmed. It's not like the classic Hollywood hard, the what am I thinking of? The classic hard ass coach trainer kind of a situation.
Yeah. And I definitely did not want my school to be like that. I want it to be inviting. I want it to be a cool, chill environment where you can just be yourself. Of course, some people are going to be nervous in my classes, which they are, but I feel like I've always had that persona about me where it's just friendly, open, energetic. I want this to be a fun environment for people and an inviting environment for people, and not for them to feel like this is the only way to do this. Like, if you want to start making money now, you have to follow these steps. It's not, because everyone's journey is going to be different. I have seen videos where schools or other studios are like promising these, you can make money starting tomorrow. You don't need a full setup. You don't need this and that. And I'm like,
yeah.
You're basically telling them that they can go do voiceovers and book voiceovers, but most likely those are going to be the scam ones, because you don't need an agent. Of course, it depends on how far you want to go in your career, but you're not going to be getting these gigs and these live announcing gigs by not having an agent and not having a proper home studio set up. So it's like, I don't want people to think that there's an easy way, because there's not an easy way. People are seeing my success now and they're like, oh my gosh, how did you do that? And I'm like, I've been in this for 9 years. You guys are just seeing this now. But there was 8-9 years of everything that I went through to get to this point that you guys did not see. Yeah. So it's not a quick, rich, easy thing kind of thing to do. So I try to remind people of that. I'm like, if it seems too good to be true from other studios saying that, it is.
Yeah.
It totally really agree. Is, because I saw one this morning and I was like, no, stop doing that. You're giving false hope. You're giving false hope.
I see the ads. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. It's so fun hanging out with you. I would hang out longer if A, I wasn't starving, and B, I wasn't getting a message from my partner who's out of the country right now. I need to check in with her. But it's so fun hanging out with you. It's so nice seeing you back at the Donald Fontaine Voiceover Lab opening, too, back in the fall.
Yes, that was amazing. Well, first of all, thank you again for inviting me as your guest. That was so cool to go to. I felt like I was part of the bigger voiceover community that I'd always, never really met in person and, hear their voice but don't really know them. And that was very cool to be a part of. And I'm so honored for inviting me. So thank you.
I hope you have more cool events there that we can hang out there and
absolutely. We're trying to. I'm trying to work with the SAG-AFTRA Foundation and teach some classes there as well. So we've been in talks. So
have you gotten to know Andia Winslow at all?
Not yet. I think I met her there, but not to know. I didn't get to know her as much, but I definitely know of her and look up to her too.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Well, thanks for your time. It's been fun hanging out with you. Appreciate
Thank you.
it. Keep it going, and I'll keep following you on Insta and sharing your stories whenever they're, inspiring and you're doing your thing on mic. I love sharing those because people see the way it's done. Yeah. So
well, thank you so much, George. Thank you.
Have a good rest of the day. Take care.
You as well. Yep. Bye, guys.
Bye.
George the Tech.